Hello, I'm Roger Bisbee from Skill Builder, and we've teamed up with Keystone Lintels to bring you the top 10 tips on how to install a lintel. Now you might think it's obvious, but over the years I've seen lintels out of level, upside down, you name it, they've done it. So here we go from 1 to 10 with our top 10 tips. Now the first tip is bedding lintels. You need to make sure that you bed them on a full bed of bricklaying mortar and that they've got a bearing of at least 150 millimeters on each end. Number 2 is to get it level. Now that might sound obvious, but you have to get it level along the lintel, but also across the lintel. Now when it comes to laying the bricks, you need to bring the bricks up simultaneously to avoid eccentric loads and rotation. The maximum you should go up on any side is 225 before bringing the other skin up to meet it. Now always allow the mortar to cure before you load the lintel with floors or anything else. If you can't wait that long, then make sure that you've put temporary props under the lintel while that curing is taking place. Now my next tip is about putting in a DPC or a membrane. Although a lot of people don't do it, it is actually an NHBC requirement. It's good practice and it can save problems in the future. So drape that down, make sure you've got weep holes there to take the moisture away, and very importantly, turn that membrane or DPC up at the end so that the water isn't shed off the end of the lintel down into the cavity, creating damp patches on the reveal. Now if you are placing floor loads like concrete beams on top of a lintel, do it gently, don't drop them down. You should never shock load a lintel, and also avoid dragging those floor beams across the top of the lintel. And here's another one that I see people getting wrong quite a lot. You should never place a point load on the flange of a lintel. Always have a minimum of 150 millimeters of masonry over the lintel to spread that load. Now the external flange must project over beyond any window or door frame, and it's a good idea just to take a little bit of flexible mastic and seal that joint to prevent any water tracking back in. When the underside of a lintel is exposed, its appearance can be enhanced by the addition of a lintel soffit cladding. Now my final point is about altering lintels. We all get it wrong sometimes, order one that's too long or too short. If you're tempted to cut a lintel, don't do it without expert advice. In other words, phone up Keystone Lintels engineers and ask them if what you're intending to do is safe and acceptable. It doesn't matter if you have too big a bed on a lintel, but it does matter if you shorten one and it becomes dangerous. So there's my top 10 tips brought to you in association with Keystone Lintels, and if you follow those simple guidelines, you won't go wrong.